Hey, what is up, people? Welcome back to the Maker TV. I'm Joel, and we have Charlie here, half asleep. And today we are back with another topical discussion, advice sort of thing.
And we're going to be talking about interviews.
Yeah, today we are going to be talking about job interviews. Now, what we're going to be talking about in particular is how to ace a job interview. Us two decided not to go uni and decided to go through the work route of life. So, would you like to share a little insight about the work life?
It's definitely a step you can take. Rather than going straight to uni, you can decide to instead go straight into working or maybe do apprenticeship, internship right after A levels or even after GCSEs, depending on how it is. I want you to just take in the factors. My factors of not doing university was debt, the quality of education I felt I would be receiving for paying that much amount of money. I think was not worth it. Most of all, it was also the prospect of not actually getting a secure job after university. So instead of that, I decided to go into an apprenticeship into IT, which I am now. So which really, that's my reasons for going into not wanting to do uni. What about you, Joe?
Well, my passions have always been media, film, all of that artistic stuff. And well, I thought of going to uni for that, maybe film school or whatever, but I thought, why am I going to pay for something that they're not... It's like going to business school or something of that nature to learn how to invent stuff. Like, no one can teach you how to create stuff in your own way. If you get what I'm trying to say, in a weird way. That's the sort of approach I took. I took things into my own hands. I create stuff on my own. I learn things on my own. And it's just,
You're a bit dilly-dally there,
yeah, because I'm trying to figure out the
either
terminology. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Either way, we have enough experience at the age of 21 to tell you how most interviews might go. Well, not most, but we have enough experience to kind of give you guys who are young what to say, what to do.
Believe that.
Believe that. Oh, I see you've had some pretty bad interviews.
No, I've had very good interviews. That's what I'm saying. I've had a lot of interviews. Many of the I know. Just carry on. I don't want to toot my own horn here.
So let's go through a subject. How you should dress.
Now that's actually very, that varies on what the job actually is.
If you're going for a business job, maybe in a bank or anything like that, suit up with a tie, everything as possible.
Like anything office based.
Yeah. That's, most of the time, it is better to look your best before you decide to go to the job interview, but it is also dependent. Sometimes if you go into work in a restaurant, you're not really supposed to just wear an entire suit to the interview. They will probably ask you to wear something like work clothes, so maybe just black trousers and a shirt that's just properly ironed, probably no tie, or maybe a bow tie if it's a really luxurious restaurant. So please dress to whatever the interview is for, and don't take any chances. If you think, don't be like, oh, it's just one of these interviews, I don't really need to wear a tie. If you should try your best to go all out, comb your hair, iron your shirt, just make sure you makeup if you need to as well if you're a female. That's how you should be looking at how you should be dressing.
Yeah, it's just a matter of making yourself seem presentable. Not seem, but be presentable. First impressions are everything. Like, this is cliche as it is actually very true. First impressions are everything.
Yeah.
If I was an employer...
Well, we did a video for this already.
No, that was for how to get a promotion. Not interviews. But, no, you made me lose that train of thought. So yeah, as cliche as it is, first impressions are everything. If I was an employer and I saw someone that didn't care about their appearance, what the hell am I saying? If someone didn't care about their appearance, I'll know straight off the bat, okay, so if this guy doesn't care about how he presents himself, how is he gonna do you think he will care about how he represents me and my establishment or my company or whatever I'm hiring for?
How you should speak. You just met this person. You've just met this person. You're trying to make it seem. You're trying to make an impression.
But let me interrupt you there. Before you even open your mouth, the handshake is very important.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you about the handshake. Now, if you shake my hand, Charlie, that will not get you the job. You see, when you shake someone's hand, if you actually put the motion of shaking someone's hand in the handshake, I said shake a lot of times, that tells me you are ready for this exchange that we. So if you want to try that again, yeah, like that. Now I know you're ready for business. Now I know that you're ready for. I forgot who told me that, but it was someone that told me that, and
It was me.
no, it definitely was not you. It was someone much older than you, and it was a long time ago. So yeah, handshake is very important. You can go back to your point about speaking.
So when you're speaking to an employer, make sure you, before you go to the interview, you actually practice. Now, what I'm going to have you do, what you should practice to do, is try and stop using fillers. Try and stop using ums, It comes across a little bit. If I keep going ums, it feels like I'm a little bit unprepared. Now, if you ever tried stopping yourself from saying ums and ers, you'd know it is frankly really hard, almost impossible to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you have to be really conscious of how you're speaking. Right now, I'm trying really hard to stop saying any type of fillers, anything that will make it seem like I'm just dilly-dallying, I'm trying to think. And in order to do that, I'm actually not able to look at your eyes because I'm actually thinking about how I did it. So make sure you've got to practice. You've got to be able to maintain a good eye contact, a stern look. If you start looking around like this, start thinking, fidgeting too much, you're gonna come across untrustworthy, maybe a little bit unconfident, and so maybe unprepared for what there is. Yes. So it's always good to be able to show that you want to be a leader initiative. Sometimes it's even better to just kind of show that, hey, I definitely know how to speak to you. I've got a good customer service. And I definitely know how to handle myself because I can definitely be able to give you an impression that I'm, competent or whatever.
And just, it's a human skill. Speaking is just a human skill for that.
One more thing, do not, under any circumstance, start using slang without knowing what kind of person you're speaking to.
Really, when it comes to speaking and all that, all it bubbles down to is being a likable person. You could have all the knowledge in the world about whatever it is that you're applying for.
And maybe have the entire skill sets.
Yeah, you could have.
Sometimes that's what they want.
Yeah.
But it won't be enough. You need to be able to portray yourself.
Yeah, you have to be a likable person. And the amount of jobs I have gotten without even showing my CV, and I got them because I was a likable person. Some employees even said it to me themselves, like, you're a very likable person, I'd like to give you a try at XYZ. And when the first few times I heard that, that's when I realized, oh, so there's more to just having this like knowledge of whatever the case whatever the role may be, and just being likable is a key skill in itself.
Okay, so you definitely have to be able to come off likable. There is a limit, obviously. Some employers, in every single interview, come off too likable, you might seem cocky. Come off too confident, you might seem overconfident. If you come off too talkative, you seem too chatty. If you come off too kind of too much of leadership qualities that involve you kind of be able to order around everything, you might seem a little bit overbearing, someone who kind of wants to micromanage every single thing. So depending on that, you have to be able to give some leeway. Kind of when you're talking to someone, as much as you want to be able to enjoy it or anything like that, you should create a persona for the job. Don't come into the job being yourself. No. Don't go into a job just being. If you're going out to interview and want the job, for whatever reason it is. You want the job because for the money, you want the job because you like the job, you want the job because you want to be with the people there, you want the job because of the reputation. Do not, in other circumstances, start thinking, oh, if I just act myself, I'll get there. If you want the job a lot, you're going to have to create a persona that's ideal for employers. Ideal for employers. And if you could, maybe your actual personality is already enjoyable, but on most hands you want to be able to create a persona specified to who you're trying to be. So when you're talking to them, create a persona of someone who they want in the company.
You know what's funny about that? They actually describe what kind of people they're looking for within an application. So what you could do, you could actually read what they're looking for in that job description and then see, okay, I could try portray that sort of side to me, to myself, within the interview. That's it. That's if you get to the interview stage.
Yes. So phone interviews are one of the things that actually happen after they see your CV. A lot of employers do this. You should be prepared for it. Now, it kind of takes in the same way as how to speak. All of it is about how you speak, how you can use inflections in your voices to be able to sound smart, sound inquisitive, sound confident. So you need to be able to convey yourself over a phone to be able to tell them what kind of person it is. If all your way you're talking is, hi, my name is Charlie. Yes, I do like IT. It is the best thing of my life. I've always dreamed of doing it in my life, and it is my way of life. Or repeating words like that. But if it's monotone, you're not gonna get it over the phone interview. There's no way. You don't sound like you're excited. You don't sound like you're passionate about something.
Yeah, especially that you're at a disadvantage since they can't actually see your facial expression. You'd have to express your intrigue in the job. Let me start again. You have to show your intrigue in the job more through your voice than you would like relying on your facial expressions, your body language, etc.
Yes. So in this also kind of way, you should also try your best to create this persona inside phone interviews. Some people I know would wear a suit even though it's a phone interview, because when you're wearing a suit,
it's like a mental thing.
It's a mental thing. You're wearing a suit, you're being proper, you're sitting up straight. Your way of talking automatically changes. Some people, before they even just kind of start their phone interview, they'll start talking to their mum and dad. Just be like, hey, mum, dad, can you try and be like, can you interview me? And they'll prepare for as if someone from their family who obviously might have a job, might have something, would prepare for an interview, get practice that way. After that topic is knowledge, right?
The knowledge of the job role?
Knowledge of the job role.
Okay, tell me about the knowledge of the job role.
If you're going to a restaurant, if you're applying for a restaurant,
you gotta know your shit.
You gotta know your shit. You gotta know your shit.
Yeah.
Now, as much as you see a lot of people later on in life that would change their job role from maybe, I've been an accountant all my life, now I'm going to try and be a salesman. They can do that because they've already got a job, they've got a secure background, they have something to fall back onto.
Yep.
And some employers, and they already know the industry to a certain extent that they can transfer those skills to a different set. In your case, knowledge of job role is what is going to get you through, especially if you have no other skill sets. You have to know it to a certain degree. And some places are more technical than others, more places might be more physical than others. So make sure before you apply for that job role to actually look at it, because if they want someone who can work, I don't know, a certain shift at a certain time with this kind of required knowledge, and you're just like, a certain shift, I could definitely do that, I love those shifts. You just put your CV over. They're not gonna, if you don't have those skills, then you're not gonna have it. And don't forget, people you are being interviewed are people who have a job role in that industry, and they know when someone will be flogging it off. They'll know when you can't pick up plates. They'll know when you can.
Sure. Yeah.
You'll
get smoked out eventually.
You will be smoked out, and you will be smoked out. So with a couple of tips that I know is after an interview, even a phone interview, even a normal face-to-face interview, it's sometimes always good to be able to just send a follow-up email saying thanks for your time, thank you for taking your time to come over to me and interview me over the phone or face-to-face. It might seem like, that looks like a bit too much effort. It'll make a long way. You're showing appreciation, you're taking it seriously, you're following up an email about a job role, and
Mhm.
they'll be like, "Oh, this guy might be a bit more serious than you think."
A tip from me is, once again, bouncing back to being a likable person. I remember I was a part of this apprenticeship program. Long story short, I didn't get an apprenticeship, but I did get a lot of knowledge from doing that. I would say a mini crash course. The tutor that I was with was telling me about being likable within the interview, and she said that when she was getting her previous job, when she was getting interviewed by her boss, she found out some information about the boss beforehand, like where he was going on holiday. I don't know how she did it. So yeah, researching beforehand who you're going to speak to get on their good side, as Charlie just mentioned. Right? She found out like the information about where he was going on holiday beforehand. I think it was like India or something. So then she was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I've been to India myself." And then they had a little conversation about India,
Yeah.
where to eat, what are the best places to visit, blah blah blah. Obviously, once the interview's over, the boss is the person that the interviewee is going to remember. Oh, she was speaking about XYZ. That's going to leave a bigger impression.
Yeah.
You're going to be remembered when it comes to filtering out the other candidates within that job.
Especially if it's like a large pool.
Yeah. So then that also makes you more memorable within that pool of candidates. So
Yeah, I'm actually, to be honest, there's one point I want to make. I've given jobs to friends of mine by having them set up an interview.
Okay.
And
I know about this one. This one's good.
and each time they do it, they get interviewed by a specific person, and they didn't do any research about that specific person because all they just like, "Oh, my friend just recommended me. I'll get the job. I'll just go in." If they go into the interview and they don't know who it is they're being interviewed by, it'd be bad.
Yeah, of
Especially
course, yeah.
if the person that's interviewing you could be someone high ranking, someone who's important,
Definitely.
like an MD. Yeah. So, please, when you go for an interview, don't just think, "Oh, I'm going to be interviewed by the person I'm speaking to." You might get a totally different interviewer, and sometimes you might even be interviewed by someone you won't even know. But if you look and research properly, the person that's interviewing you could be someone that is important. So if you come from an interview and you've never met them before, never seen them, they've never seen you before, but you've already researched to know about them, you come in just like, "Oh, hello Bob," or "Hello Ryan," and the person's like, "Oh, hello, nice to meet you, your name is," it means that you've done some investigative work to know what company you're working for. So that's definitely something you need to be able to do. Make sure you do know. Make sure you do research who is in the company, what they do, what they've done, and the kind of the exploits they've kind of made news on.
Yeah. And last point, even if you can't get information about who you're going to be interviewed by, I'll give you another example of my previous job. I went into an office. I got interviewed by a random person. We got into a conversation about films and music and who's our favorite artist. Now I'll tell you how that began. Whilst I was in the interview, she asked me, "So what do you do other than work?" So I explained I do films, I produce music, blah blah blah. So then we went on a tangent on the topic, and we were speaking about Drake, believe it or not, J. Cole's concert last year, like just totally unrelated things to the job, which ended up working in my favor because then it made me go into the good books, which meant I started the job the next day. So yeah, and really it just comes down to practice also. Like obviously if you're not feeling as confident in your first interview, that's completely fine. It just happened. Just carry on practicing and everything will become second nature. I remember my first interview was a phone interview. I practically shit my pants. It was for Sainsbury's. I didn't get the job, but eventually I'll tell you, sidetrack, I'll tell you the worst question I hate employers asking me is why do you want this job? That is like the worst question ever. Because how Has anyone ever told the truth in that?
Probably not. Well, some people have. Why do you want this job? Well, if I was a gamer and loved games and I got a games designing job, I would be like, I love games, that's why I want this job. Other than money.
Yeah, other than passion-filled jobs. I'm just saying in general. Say if your passion is, I don't know, painting, and you happen to be an accountant and you go into an accounting firm, why do you want this job? I have a passion for counting people's money. No, you're there for the money, but obviously you can't say that. It's never acceptable to say the reason why I want this job is for money only.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's a given leeway. I mean, like, they'll probably take it and be like, how are you going to deal with this question? But don't say you want the money. Always say something like it's a passion. Always say it's something like it's been something I've always been good at.
Yeah.
Monetize on it. It's something that I've always felt like I should learn in, and it's always something that I feel like I should do. Obviously, if you're a university student, a lot of the people who hire you know you're a university student and you need to be able to pay off debt. So they probably won't actually ask you this question, or they might ask it to you just to fuck with you.
Oh yeah, they definitely do that.
They'll
They
probably
definitely
ask
do
it
that.
just to fuck with you.
Definitely.
But hey, it comes and goes.
So that wraps up this, I was about to say short advice video. This is going to be a pretty long, but informative. Informative? Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yes.
Yeah, a long but informative video.
Yeah.
If you would like us to talk about any topics, please type that down below in the comment section. Would you like to say anything else, Charlie? I'm hungry. Well, your food's unfinished. So, that wraps up the video. See ya.